What is up, my dudes and that one girl who wants to go on a road trip? This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, just getting this stuff done. Let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on a Krew communicator? Check my referral link down below. Want to support me in all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Boom! Then you should become part of the Brew Crew and join the coffee page down below. Want to know why I'm asking you for money? Well, you know, spoiler alert, next to those 5 million Amazon affiliate links that are also for a good cause, and like, I'm not keeping any of that money, it is all going to the same place. There is a link explaining all of this, so check that out and, you know, become part of the Brew Crew. Buy something on Amazon, do cool things. You know, let's make this happen. Okay guys, so let's talk about long road trips and what I do to prepare for them and how I actually do them. I want to start this off by saying I am in no way, shape, or form an expert in long road trips, nor do I profess to be one. I have done a fair amount of them. I've done a few 1K in a days. I've done a few like just 500-mile trips on a weekend and stuff like that. So I want to share my experiences with you. I have had people that have asked me before about this stuff, and I have talked about it in other videos here and there. So I did want to bring this all together in one cohesive video to hopefully help some of you guys if you are planning to go on a longer road trip, and you know, some of the stuff that you can think about and maybe you can incorporate into your trips to make yours a little bit more enjoyable. That being said, yes, I ride a 2018 Road Glide Special, so your bike is going to differ from mine. We don't have the same thing. Some of you may have sport bikes, some of you may have Sportsters, some of you may have a moped, whatever. This is just going to be stuff that you could use, so use your better judgment. Some of this stuff may work for you, some of this might not. It all comes down to what you're doing, where you're going, who you are, and what you're riding. So this is mainly just an outline to try and help you. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm preparing to go do a 1K in a day to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the Harley Homecoming Rally, the 120th anniversary thing. So that's what I'm preparing for right now, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. So hopefully some of this, as I said, will help you. And you know, if you're going to the Harley Homecoming Rally, let me know. Throw it down in the comments down below or slide up in my DMs on Instagram and let me know, because I would love to meet up with some of you guys as well. We could trade stickers, you know, share a beer, whatever. All the fun stuff. Let's do it. All right, so first and foremost, for me, I tend to leave very early. And this is because, like, in New England, if I was to leave around like 5, 6, 7 in the morning, I'm gonna roll right into rush hour. Like for this trip that I'm taking, for example, I'm leaving on like Thursday, bright and early in the morning. If I was to leave at 6 a.m., I would just go right into a parking lot. And I don't wanna do that. I wanna maximize the amount of miles I can get on my bike so I can get to my destination as quick as possible and enjoy what I am doing. That being said, I am going to go to sleep mad early on Wednesday and probably get up around 2 a.m. so I can get on my bike and go for a ride. Now, that being said, obviously, I'm not going to get up at 2 a.m. and just hop on my bike and take off. I'm going to be like, you know, trying to look through like one eye that's maybe a quarter of the way open. I'm going to be completely out of it and it's going to be a disaster. So that's not what I'm going to do when I do this. So when I wake up at 2 a.m., what generally happens is, first things first, I go and I take a shower because, you know, the water and all that stuff, it's going to help wake me up. It's going to, like, you know, kind of get me going and just kind of get me functional for the morning. So that's a really important thing for me. Like, I will take out all my clothes and stuff the night before. I will have that all prepped and ready so there's no thought process involved, because that's the other thing. When you're taking off this early, when you're taking off for your trip, you don't want to think about any of this stuff. You want to basically just make it all as automated as humanly possible so you don't mess up anything, you don't forget anything. Everything is good when you head out the door. So yes, set out all my clothes, get ready, hop in the shower. When I come out of the shower, what I generally do is I will drink like an energy drink, but I try and avoid the ones that are loaded with sugar and loaded with caffeine. My personal preference right now is I actually do these C4 smart energy drinks. So these are they're not gonna make you feel all cracked out and stuff. I'm not endorsed by C4 or anything like that. This just happens to be one that helps me in the morning. I tend not to eat either when I'm doing a long ride. I may grab a few snacks along the way, but like I don't have breakfast or anything like that. I find that, you know, if I'm eating something kind of heavy or whatnot, it's gonna make me feel kind of bogged down, and I don't want that. I wanna be awake and cognizant and just, you know, aware of the road and all that fun stuff, especially being that the first couple hours that I'm gonna be riding are just in pitch black. So I wanna be aware of my surroundings and, you know, awake and ready to go. So for me, a C4 is a good way to go. A lot of times I'll even pound that before I get in the shower. That way it has some time to kick in before I get on my bike. Okay, so now talking about the bike, there's a few things that I do for my bike. For me personally, I will preload a cooler the night before with a couple different drinks. 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna be the C4s. I will actually just kind of pop in a bunch of these Celsius. I found that these work pretty well as well. Again, they just have some B vitamin stuff to keep me awake and going. They're not loaded with like caffeine or sugar. Again, not endorsed by them. This is just something that I do choose to drink, and I find to be very helpful when I'm on the road. So one of the things that I've found when people are like doing these road trips and they're out there and stuff, one of the complaints I've seen is about halfway through, especially if you're seeing like group rides and stuff, you'll start seeing like 1 or 2 people dropping off. You can almost set your watch to it. It's actually kind of interesting. And I find that a lot of these people don't seem to stay hydrated. Now, I don't mean put a giant cup holder on your bike and start chugging your Big Gulp from like 7-Eleven or something like that. What I personally do is when I stop for gas, which for my bike is every like 220 miles or so, I'm going to fill up my gas tank, I'll park my bike, I'll get off, I'll stretch a bit, you know, I'll get the blood flowing again. And while I'm doing that, I'll grab like a Celsius, or, you know, if I'm not in the mood for that, I'll go into whatever store is connected to that gas station and grab a drink. So that's what I do. Like every single stop, I make sure I am drinking something, be it like a bottle of water, a Celsius, something along those lines that's going to hydrate me, kind of put in like, you know, a few minerals and stuff and, you know, B vitamins and whatnot to kind of keep me awake. That's what I'm going for. Again, I'm avoiding a lot of caffeine and a lot of sugar because I don't want to get that crash somewhere down the road. Same thing. If I feel hungry and I'm going for snacks or something like that, I'll usually get some of those like Beneful packs, like, you know, those little crackers, or I'll get like a bag of popcorn from the store I'm at, you know, something that's not like super loaded with sugar or, you know, anything like that, because I'm trying to avoid those crashes. I want that nice consistent energy. Some stores, they'll have like fresh fruit, like bananas and apples and stuff like that. I will grab some of those. That is fantastic. I mean, a bag of beef jerky, something like that to give you a little bit of energy and keep you going, I found is just fantastic. But I cannot stress enough, when you stop for gas, stuff like that, make sure you get off the bike. Make sure you move around. Honestly, each of my gas stops probably take about 15 to 20 minutes. And that's because I do want to move around a bit. Like I said, my bike, I'm getting about 220 miles. That's, you know, a couple hours on the bike and stuff. So I want to make sure I can stretch, move around, get the blood flowing, get the muscles like moving and warmed up and stuff like that. And then I hop back on my bike and I'm on my way out the door. All right, guys, so now let's talk about packing. Any of you that have seen any of my older videos, you'll see that 9 times out of 10, I have like, you know, a gym bag or something strapped to the back of my bike. Since those last travels, Saddlemen has provided me a pretty sweet bag. This bad boy right here. Now, even though this thing is huge and I can put a ton of stuff in this, I am still gonna pack conservatively for this. So quite honestly, what I'm gonna be packing is like a spare pair of shoes, you know, so when I'm at my destination, I can be walking around and stuff. Couple pairs of underwear, a couple pairs of socks. Like usually like one pair of socks, one pair of underwear per day that I am gone. Anything past that, you know, I'm gonna be staying at a hotel or something like that, I can just throw the stuff in a wash machine. Even if I'm camping, there's laundry mats around, there's rivers you can put stuff in, whatever. So, you know, I try and keep things pretty slim when it comes to packing, so I have as much room as possible, and my bike is as light as possible. I will pack, like I said, socks, underwear, maybe a few t-shirts, but I don't go too crazy on that. Maybe a pair of shorts, but even that, it's not something I normally do because when I'm going on these trips, I'm riding a lot. So I'm not gonna be wearing shorts. I don't bother packing an extra pair of jeans because I'm wearing jeans. They're fine. You can wear them a couple days. Everything's cool, whatever. Also in my bag, I'm going to be packing my rain gear, and I'm gonna make sure that that's easily accessible, and my rain fly for my bag. In the smaller pockets, I'm going to be packing like maybe a few extra pairs of contact lenses because I wear glasses or contacts and I rotate back and forth between the two. And really not too much else. In the actual bag, I will have like a little shower bag, which has like my toothbrush, my toothpaste, soap, stuff like that. Again, some contact lenses, but nothing too crazy. That's something I can unzip, open if I'm staying in a hotel or a campsite or something, hang it off a shower curtain, off a tree branch if I'm in a river or whatever, and I can get clean. Everything's good to go, no problem. But yes, I try and pack as light as humanly possible. With my bike, I also have saddlebags. So with my saddlebags, that's where I pack the stuff that I need quick and easy access to. So with me, my left bag, I tend to keep like some sort of cleaner or polish and some cloths in there. Not because I'm gonna be stopping and polishing my bike at every gas stop or whatnot, but anyone who's done a long trip will find that, you know, your lens on either your sunglasses, your helmet, anything like that gets covered in bugs pretty bad. And part of my gas stops is I will clean my lens so, you know, I have a fresh start for the next 220 miles. So I like to keep that handy. I like to keep a few extra towels handy in case, you know, gas spillage or, you know, some sort of mess is created, whatever. In my other saddlebag, I will keep like a hat, I'll keep spare batteries for my GoPro, I'll keep some spare GoPro parts in there, stuff like that, because I'm doing the motovlogging thing. If you're not motovlogging, obviously you don't need to do that. I'll keep a spare pair of gloves because a lot of times when I'm riding on highways and doing longer trips, I will wear different gloves than if I'm around the city. Like I tend to wear something a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker and stuff like that when I'm doing a long trip. Okay, so next up for me personally is having a good playlist to listen to. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are using like full face helmets or you have speakers, stuff like that. And I highly encourage this because especially when you're on the highways or something like that, it could get very droning and very boring after a while. So I try and have like some upbeat music, like it tends to be like punk or something like that, where, you know, it's a nice beat that's going. It's kind of like, it's keeping me in a good mood or, you know, something like that. Like I'm not going to listen to Tool or I'm not going to listen to like hardcore, you know, stuff that's going to get me all pissed off and angry or, you know, just kind of zoned out. I'm going to have stuff that, you know, I'm going to be like bopping my head, singing along, doing bad karaoke, amusing myself all the way down the road. Seriously, if I left my mic on at all points in time, my camera on at all points in time, and like showed you those videos, you would think I was a lunatic. But for me, it keeps me going. It keeps me in that like perspective of like, let's get this done. And I just keep rolling through. And I highly encourage you guys do the same. Even just get like 2-3 hours worth of music and just loop it and like, you know, mix it. So like you're not hearing the same stuff in the same order and it just keeps going. That'll keep you going and keep you engaged, and don't be afraid to kind of like make yourself look like a dork, like dancing around on your bike or whatever. Like when people see you on the highway and stuff, you're never going to see these people again. It doesn't matter. Just enjoy yourself, have a good time while you're riding. Okay, so one of the last things that I really want to touch upon is make sure your bike is comfortable for the ride. Now, like I said, I realize not everyone's driving a bagger and stuff like that. Some of you may be doing this on a sport bike, Sportster, whatever. That's fine, but make sure it's comfortable. This is why, like, you know, I've talked about it 100 times before. I use suspension technologies, shocks, front and back on my bike to make sure my bike is comfortable. Same with my saddleman seat. Like, all of that stuff is comfortable. The height of my handlebars and the way they are, those LA Chopper hammerheads that I use, they are comfortable for me. That's what I like. That is what keeps me comfortable. And the thing is, you have to realize that everything ties together to make your ride comfortable. So if you buy a comfortable seat and you have horrible shocks, your ride is still going to be horrible because your seat can only do so much work before, like, it's just kind of like, hey, you're on your own, buddy. So you have to consider that. Same with the handlebars and stuff. If your handlebars are too low, they're too high, you know, you're going to start feeling that in your back and shoulders, and it's going to bother you, and you're not going to enjoy that ride. There's only so much that the rest of your bike can do. So, you know, make sure, especially if you're going on these longer rides, that your bike is dialed into you. It is comfortable. Don't just go to Facebook groups and stuff like that and ask what everybody else is riding. Take some time to learn what you like and what's comfortable for you, not the next person. Because even like if you were to get all the same stuff as me and you're the same height, same weight, same everything as me, you may not be comfortable with the stuff that I am comfortable with. That's the stuff you have to understand, and it is trial and error. So, you know, make sure you keep that in the back of your mind. I've done like 700 miles in a night on a Kawasaki Ninja. Not the most, like, you know, comfortable thing on earth, but it did it and it was done. My bike now, way more comfortable. So yeah, keep that in mind. But that's what I got. You know, anyone else doing long trips? What do you guys have for recommendations? Throw it down below. Help out the next rider. Let people know. So, you know, we can all enjoy this. We can all take long rides if we want to do it. And, you know, we can have a good time. And I hope to see a lot of you over at the Harley 120th Homecoming. That's what I got. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one dude you know who's like, I want to go take a long trip, but I just don't know where to start. Here you go, man. Let's do it. And I'll see you all on the flip side.